Live. Kick it. I don't like your bullshit, but I never did. There's something about you. What is it? Oh, you're full of shit. Yeah, you know all about fashion, and you sure do know what's cool. And we got something up our sleeve, and it's just for you. Oh, you think you're rock and roll, but you're a joke. You're a wannabe, baby. I watch you from the crowd as you're faking. I watch us from the ground as we make it. Oh, do you remember?
Got to see what young people are thinking right now. How are you acting?
In the background where I was meant to be. And now somehow they're lining up for little old me. And you're standing in your mirror saying, oh, how could it be? Oh.
Soft men. The Bobby Lees. Good morning, everybody. Marcus Conte reporting. Why is the drummer in his underwear? That's an interesting costume right there, right? I'll play in my underwear. I'll take off my shirt, and I'll be less manly. Right? He looks like an in between, right? He looks like an in between person. He's got a package here. Looks like a little. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Marcus Conte reporting. It's that's the state of the union right now. We talk about we have to be very careful what we say about people's appearances, their sexuality, their willingness to cut off their gonads and replace them with new gonads. The idea that a former sitting president, which we're going to talk about today, is a spy. Now, it's the latest, right? Donald Trump now convicted, or now, I don't know, it's kind of the same today, acquitted, not acquitted, convicted. He's been indicted on many felony charges pertaining to espionage. Does anybody in their right mind, again, I ask the question, does anybody in their right mind believe that Donald J. Trump is a spy? I think it's almost so ridiculous. Trump is one of the most patriotic guys, one of the most, guys running around swinging a flag. I love my country. Swinging a flag. I think I said swinging a fan. Swinging the flag, loving America, and somehow the left can swallow the ridiculousness that he is a spy and allow government to steamroll him before an election. See, they don't see election interference. William BARR is former cohort, former friend of Trump. He was the attorney general under Trump. Is now saying the evidence looks damning, and Trump is toast, says William BARR. William BARR says Trump is toast. No way out of it. The evidence is too much. There's too much against him. So look at this ridiculous story today. And there he is, William BARR. Trump is toast. He's going down, says William BARR. Everybody else seems to say it's the greatest opportunity for Trump to ride the media ever, right? So, I wanted to. There we go. So I have a coffee mug. Thank you, Weevil Girl. Let's give Weevil Girl a hand. Weevil Girl is our merchandising expert in the hanging out in the dorm room next door. And this is the coffee cup, the Marcus Conte Marcus in the Morning coffee cup. Look at this, man. It's coming to you soon. It says, if you could see it, it's not really focusing. Educational philosophical live stream, marcusconte.com, Marcus in the Morning. And we got the beloved logo there, nice black inside. Made in China. It says made in China. You can peel that off. Made in China, motherfucker. My mug is made in China. Anyway, thank you so much, Weevil Girl. We'll be rolling this out soon. I think There is a way to put the link to buy it right below. Jimmy Dore has one. We'll set that up. Also, I got a mindfulness, mindfully running, run mindfully thermos. I'll use this. I'll keep this. I keep it in my pocket when I walk. I'm not gonna. You can't run with it. It's too heavy. But thank you so much, Weevil Girl. Thank you very much, Weevil Girl, in the chat for getting that to my attention. And I'm slow on it, not because I don't like the idea. I'm just lazy. I like to stick to what I do, which is the show. And I know it's lazy. All right, but we're gonna get some mugs going. And so yeah, very very troubling times in America. Perception is incredible. Half the country sees Trump still. This Trump derangement syndrome, that Trump is bad and evil and he just has to go to jail. And how could you support him at all? He's such a bad man, right? That's the Trump derangement syndrome. It's promoted by the media, but there's a lot of people that believe it. If you thought they went away, if you thought all the Trump haters went away, well, they're now harvesting that hate. Right? The media the deep state is now harvesting that hate and bringing it back to life with fresh indictments on Donald Trump. The reality is, will Donald Trump ever go to jail, former sitting president? No. If Trump wins the election, then it's over. The whole conspiracy to imprison Trump is over. That he's a spy. If Trump loses, that's a coin toss because if Trump walks off into the pasture quietly, then nothing will happen. They won't come after him. He'll become a George Bush. He'll become a friend of the deep state. And he's getting old. He'll probably be dead soon. What's he going to live? 90? He's got another 15 years, 12 years, and then he's dead. So I don't think Trump will ever go to jail. If he wins, it's over. If he loses, it's over. The election, that is. But right now, will Trump, I guess the bigger question is, will Trump be indicted? He's already been indicted. But that doesn't mean anything today. Indictments are it's just propaganda. Yeah, they're going to have a big, expensive trial and try to bring all the evidence to what Trump did up front. But will Trump go to jail before November 6th election? Absolutely, unequivocally not. That would be, there's a lot of, we could say there's a lot of things that would end the United States of America experiment. And jailing a candidate, former president, before an election for frivolous nonsense that so many politicians have done and continue to do would be, again, that would be unprecedented. So do I think Trump will go to jail or have any other legal problems other than showing up in certain courts with lawyers and using it to his advantage? No, I do not think so. And as I said, if he wins the election, then he makes it go away. If he loses the election, he's made to go away, and he accepts that, and that's the end of it. So, maybe he'll write a book. Oh, yes. This is a horrible deep state. So again, my name is Marcus Conte. Marcus in the Morning. We are educational, philosophical. We are not politically motivated. We don't take money from any political organization unless they give it to me. But they don't. The point is, no one buys my opinion. Right? I just am who I am. I believe politically I sit in the middle somewhere between left and right. That irritates people. How dare you agree with anything they say on the left? They're fucking crazy. How dare you? How dare you believe that Trump is a good person and is not a spy? I'm in the middle of those arguments. I think Trump was a decent president when you calculate it, when you calculate the moves, what he did and how he conducted himself in the Oval Office. I think Trump was a fine president. I think he's far better than Biden. At least Trump was driving the vehicle. Biden is not driving anything. I think Obama was a little of both. I think Obama had a lot of secret power. But Obama made a lot of shady deals behind the scenes. All right, I'll let you do this if you do that, and unyieldingly, Obama cut a lot of deals with the deep state. He's still very popular in those circles. But anyway, so I got a website, and we'll look at those fascinating stories. Thank you, everybody, for joining me in the chat. Proves what he did. Boom, ba-bing, ba-bum, ba-boom. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Weeble Girl in the house. Chris Milk is here. Quantum Epic, Human Being, 34/7. Who else is here? Tom Z. Duffy. David Brown is here. Quantum Epic is here as well. Real Life. Sean Can, thank you all for joining me, and we're here every morning at 9 a.m. You don't need notification. You don't need anybody to blow the whistle. You just come on down. You hit the link right here, and you're in the stream. So let's look at the controversy surrounding Donald Trump and the allegation that he is a spy. Let's listen to Joe Rogan chirp in on the latest Donald Trump versus Biden.
All the stuff with his son and the ties to Ukraine and China and the money, the family, they got paid millions of dollars, and everyone's trying to obscure it because, well, it's better than Trump. If that guy was a Republican, they would be up his ass with a microscope.
I know, it is unbelievable.
They went with this corrupt career politician.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wild stuff, man. The media is overwhelmingly left-leaning. And if you have a left-leaning politician or a left-wing Democratic politician, and then you have this media that essentially works to support that person.
Yeah.
I mean, they ignore any information that leads to distrust in the government or distrust in this administration or distrust in this party, this political party.
Yeah, it's the dark arts, man.
It's the dark arts.
Yes.
It's the dark arts. I think the again, one of the fundamental problems is that someone like Joe Rogan is accurate in what he's saying, but it does seem that it's not necessarily a thought out, a higher thought out conspiracy that the media is colluding with the left. The media believes it. They hire people that believe the rhetoric. They believe Trump is bad and devastating to the world. If you don't think so, if you don't think Lawrence O'Donnell and Rachel Maddow actually believe the bullshit that they're saying, then I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think that at some point people compromise in the media, but people like Lawrence O'Donnell and certainly Rachel Maddow totally believe it. Right? They believe that Russia was, Russia hacked the election and such. There's other stuff here. We'll come back to that. Let's listen to Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham, this is a good interview. So that's a pro so far. Lindsey Graham says former President Trump. It's so ridiculous that he's indicted on charges of espionage. Let's listen to Lindsey Graham spin it.
For president in 2024, Senator Graham, thank you for joining us this morning. Donald Trump has said repeatedly that he did nothing wrong. Do you believe that?
Well, here's what I believe. We live in an America where if you're the Democratic candidate for president, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, you can set up a private server in your basement to conduct government business, and when an investigation is had about you.
Right there. You see how Stephanopoulos interrupts? This is what you have to stop. Right? When these jerk-off guys, these paid hacks on ABC, MSNBC, CBS, when they cut you off, you tell them, shut the fuck up and let me speak, okay? And go silent on them. I am the guest. Don't ask me to come on your show and then cut me off in the middle of what I'm saying so you can make a stupid point. And Lindsey Graham does that effectively, at least for a little bit.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Donald Trump has said repeatedly that he did nothing wrong. Do you believe that?
The question is, did Donald Trump do anything wrong? It's a general question. Did Donald Trump do anything wrong? Well, yes and no.
Well, here's what I believe. We live in an America where if you're the Democratic candidate for president, Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, you can set up a private server in your basement to conduct government business. And when an investigation is had about your activity, no, let me finish.
You didn't answer the question.
That was ridiculous. Well, yeah, I'm trying to answer the question from a Republican point of view. That may not be acceptable on this show. Yes, I don't like what...
That may not be acceptable on this show. It's so out in the open now that these shows don't allow both sides of an argument. Did Trump do anything wrong? Did he do anything wrong? Yes or no? Say if you say no, then it's ridiculous. So Lindsey Graham pushing back a little bit.
What President Trump did in certain aspects. I don't like that Joe Biden had classified information on the garage. I don't like that Mike Pence carelessly took classified information. I don't like any of that. But what I don't like is a system in America where the Secretary of State, who's a Democratic candidate for president, has people take a hammer to social media devices and break them apart.
Yeah.
Apply bleach bit to a heart.
So Lindsey Graham, upon being asked the question, did Trump do anything wrong? He's pointing out the horrificness of the Clintons back in 2016 when they alleged that when they tried to rig an election, when they did rig the Democratic primary against Bernie Sanders and got caught, they started bashing and smashing everything. Which led into the Trump
hard drive to erase emails, allow classified information to get on a felon's computer. This
is all things we found out through WikiLeaks, a third party, right? And Lindsey Graham is reiterating that stuff for us.
You haven't even mentioned that. Most Republicans believe we live in a country where Hillary Clinton did very similar things and nothing happened to her. President Trump will have his day in court. But espionage charges are absolutely ridiculous.
Right. Lindsey Graham points out espionage, to be a spy. That's what you got to look at the gravity of what they're saying. They're indicting Trump on the Espionage Act, the same thing that Julian Assange was indicted on, the same thing that Chelsea Manning was indicted on. They're trying to link Trump into that group as a spy. It's utter ridiculousness, and people. I don't think people see the gravity of what government is getting, trying to get away with here. Right? Where does it stop?
Whether you like Trump or not, he did not commit espionage. He did not disseminate, leak, or provide information to a foreign power or to a news organization to damage this country. No. He is not a spy. He's
not a spy. He's not a spy.
Overcharged. Did he do things wrong? Yes, he may have. He will be tried about that. But Hillary Clinton wasn't. Your old boss committed perjury in a civil lawsuit, lost his law license, obstructed justice in a dozen ways.
He's talking about Bill Clinton.
And he didn't get prosecuted. I know.
And he was impeached. Well,
enough.
Senator,
yeah, well, he was impeached, but he wasn't prosecuted.
You've made your point, but you also said something that I believe is not true based on what's in the indictment. You said that he did not disseminate any of this information. In fact, there's an audio tape in the indictment where he's talking about the secret information, saying he knows it's secret, knows it's not declassified.
This is ridiculous. You see, it's like a witch hunt. He's trying. It's not about the information. It's about what did Trump say? Did he say it? Did he say he had it and he didn't have it, or he didn't have it and he had it? Who fucking cares, really? The idea of this type of information being in the hands of a former president is not startling at all. Is not disturbing at all. Right? This should not even be a discussion that a couple of boxes of old fucking records were found in an ex-president's locked cabin. It is not an issue. It should not be an issue. But to say that someone is going to turn around and sell that to foreign, entities is just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Would Trump pull things out of his closet as proof of shenanigans down the road? Well, he might. He might say, "Hey, you know what? I got something in my garage. I got a piece of paper that'll tell you that this is bullshit." And he'll go into his garage and he'll pull out this fucking piece of paper, right? And say it's classified. Right? That's where Trump is. Trump overplays his cards, but that doesn't mean he's a spy. God.
Okay, let's talk about that. I don't know what happened. I haven't heard the audio, but look at who's been charged under Espionage Act. Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Chelsea Manning, people who turn over classified information to news organizations to hurt the country or provide it to a foreign power. That did not happen here. Donald Trump, you may hate his guts, but he is not a spy. He did not commit espionage. What he did is very similar, in my view, to what Hillary Clinton did.
So even if you hate Donald Trump's guts, he's not a spy, and he did not commit espionage, says the good Lindsey Graham.
People in the Clinton case took a hammer to a BlackBerry and destroyed it. They wiped clean with bleach bit emails. They said they were all personal, but some of them actually were classified, and it wound up on Anthony Weiner's computer, and not a damn thing happened to her.
Yep.
Senator, first of all, she was fully investigated. They found the investigation found no intentional holding.
I love it. Lindsey Graham. Now, that's a sign of the times right there. The commentator says that Hillary Clinton was fully investigated, and Lindsey Graham laughed in his face over the investigation. Listen to that. Watch that transaction again. Watch that.
Senator, first of all, she was fully investigated. They found the investigation found no intentional holding back. Well, fine. Donald Trump was president for 4 years. He had his Justice Department.
All right, what do you say to that, George? It's a sham. The investigation of the Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and the whole fucking WikiLeaks, dealing with classified information on laptops and Hillary Clinton's servers in Hillary Clinton's basement. It's all real, right? But George Stephanopoulos, no. Trump is a spy. Trump did wrong. Let's talk about Trump.
Been in place for 4
Give me
years.
a break.
But setting that aside, there is an audio tape of Donald Trump saying he knows this is secret information. He knows he's sharing it with other people. How is that okay?
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay to take a hammer to a BlackBerry. I think none of this is okay. When Chris Coons, my good friend will be on in a minute, when we view classified information, we have to sign in, go into a room, and turn it back over.
Right.
You got vice presidents, secretary of states, and presidents handling this stuff. You had Bill Clinton with tapes in his sock drawer.
Not only that, but Hillary Clinton was communicating with Obama and other high Loretta Lynch, right? Hillary Clinton was was traveling with a BlackBerry, communicating with Obama in the White House, using a BlackBerry that went into wherever she went into the cell tower, and it was totally interceptable, having classified communications, passing classified information back and forth. Incredibly reckless, incredibly dangerous, and unsecure. So if you want to know how information leaked to Russia, just look at when did Hillary Clinton or any of those people, travel into those areas, and they were communicating on their BlackBerries, which they were not supposed to do. Right? These are all crimes. They're not necessarily signs of spying, but there's signs of incredible recklessness, far more reckless than Trump having a box in his guarded basement. That's the point that Lindsey Graham is trying to make. Why Trump? Why now? Because it's politically motivated and he's running for president. That's it.
I would like to review the system, but here's the point I'm trying to make. What's happening in Manhattan to Donald Trump has never happened to anybody in the history of New York. I think the espionage charges are completely wrong, and I think they paint an impression that doesn't exist. This is not espionage. And I do believe, George, that most people on my side of the aisle believe when it comes to Donald Trump, there are no rules, and you can do the exact same thing or something very similar as a Democrat, and nothing happens to you. Here's the bottom line.
Hold on a second, Senator.
The leading candidate for president of the United States on the Republican side is being prosecuted by his opponent.
That's right.
Had Donald Trump turned over the documents,
Oh, and now let's talk about the technicals. You see how Stephanopoulos, he can't get his head around the fact that Trump and if he would have done it this way, and if he would have done it like everybody else broke the law, and when they were caught, they handed over everything, but Trump was a little different when he handed over the documents, and therefore he's a spy, and it's ridiculous, George. Trump is being tried on it should scare people. He's being tried as a spy. Tried in U.S. courts as a spy. Ridiculous.
Mike Pence did, and you heard our legal panel address that as well. We wouldn't be sitting here today. There would be no case. There would be no case at all.
Well, I don't know if that's true. He believes he has the power to do that. He will argue the Presidential Records Act. I don't know if he's right or not. There'll be a trial about this, but I cannot stress to you enough that we live in a world today where most Republicans believe that Hunter Biden's laptop was real and people knew it was real. But
welcome to the suburbs. You hear that fucking noise outside? What is that? It sounds like an earthquake. There's an earthquake in Pennsylvania. I don't know what the fuck it is.
But they told the public something else to help Joe Biden. We live in a world where it takes 4 years to investigate Hunter Biden. You can go after Donald Trump in about 18 months.
So Lindsey Graham making some excellent points. Let's watch. What do we got here?
Former Attorney General.
So here's a counter point. Lindsey Graham, a very respected senator, saying his piece. Now we have William Barr, the former Attorney General under Trump, making these statements.
Bill Barr, who served in the Trump administration, knows the former president very well. Mr. Attorney General, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you. What about this chief argument that comes up for the president's allies and his legal team that this should have been handled under the Presidential Records Act, not this Espionage Act charge and other federal statutes that were used here?
Okay.
Well, it started out under the Presidential Records Act and the archives trying to retrieve documents that Trump had no right to have. But it quickly became clear that what the government was really worried about were these classified and very sensitive documents. I was shocked by the degree of sensitivity of these documents and how many there were, frankly.
Were you really, William? What about the rest? He's saying that the degree to which these documents were sensitive and classified that Trump had was shocking to William Barr. He said, "Really?
So the government's agenda was to get those, protect those documents and get them out. And I think it was perfectly appropriate to do that. It was the right thing to do. And I think the counts under the Espionage Act that he willfully retained those documents are solid counts. Now,
solid counts. William Barr throwing Donald Trump under the bus said the counts are solid. Trump is a spy. Trump, under the Espionage Act, we have it. It's right here, and Trump violated it.
I do think we have to wait and see what the defense says and what proves to be true. But I do think that even half what Andy McCarthy said, which is if even half of it is true, then he's toast. I mean,
even if half of it is true, he's toast. Says William Barr.
It's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning. And this idea of presenting Trump as a victim here, a victim of a witch hunt, is ridiculous.
Wow, holy smokes! So William Barr, right there. There's no longer any love between William Barr and Donald Trump. William Barr, ex Attorney General under Trump, throwing fucking Trump under the bus. Trump slams federal indictment as distraction from Biden bribery allocation. Welcome to the Banana Republic, everybody. Welcome. Let's just take a break. Welcome to the Banana Republic. This is now leading into 2024. This is the politics of the moment. Who is going to jail who first. Trump had his opportunity to jail Hillary Clinton. He was going to lock her up. You remember when he was going to lock her up? But he didn't do anything. He didn't lock up shit. And now he's out of office because they cheated him, and he's going to come back and try to lock them up, and they ain't going to have it. They're not having getting locked up. Trump threatened to lock them up, and when they kicked him out, that's what we're talking about now. Trump, they're going after Trump full throat because Trump, I don't know, Trump might have had a moment of reckoning. He might have said, I got to lock some of these people up or they're going to just keep coming at me, right? Ask yourself this. If Trump would have followed through on his campaign promise of locking her up, a.k.a. Hillary Clinton, if Trump would have locked up Hillary Clinton after 2016, or at least pursued a vigorous investigation into the way they mishandled this information, then would we still be in the same place? Would Trump have gotten hatcheted the way he did? You make a threat, you don't deliver on the threat, they get rid of you, and then they take the threat and they put it on you. Remember, Trump is being accused of the very same things, the very same types of things that he accused Hillary Clinton of doing. You remember? It's just coming back. Did that attack work on Hillary Clinton? Yeah, it did. It vilified Hillary Clinton in the eyes of many, many people because many, many people saw the truth of what was happening. And so Deep State says, well, that's a good strategy. Let's just put it on Trump. They're putting the Espionage Act, the thing that he accused other people of, on him for boxes in the basement. So Trump, on Sunday, branded the 37-count federal indictment he faces as nothing more than a distraction. It's just a distraction from the bribery allegations leveled against President Biden. Now, there is evidence right now floating around that Biden and his son, there was a $5 million bribery scheme, and there is a extremely credible witness that the FBI alleges that they have that says that Biden, in fact, bribed this guy for $5 million and took the money and then, using shell accounts, got rid of it. Is that true? Yeah, I think it is true. What are we watching here? But I'm sorry, I got lost. No.
Never get old.
No.
Seeing doesn't.
No ads. I'm not watching no ads. Trump is toast in classified documents. Let's look at some of the. There's William Barr. There's the former. You see how close he is to the president. Close. I had one other thing to say about that. I don't know, but that's just the state of the union right now. And let's see what we got here. The markets are open. Ding. We are open. Let's go to the stock market and see what's going on. Everything's green. Look at that. How green. S&P 500 is up a little bit. 7. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 61. NASDAQ up 47. NASDAQ was up significantly more a little while ago, but we'll take it. Clicking up. This week we're expecting the Fed Reserve to pause the jacking up of interest rates. We believe that they're going to do a pause on that. You can see how the NASDAQ is creeping up right now. I just want to see what it did this morning. Did it take a plunge? No, it gapped up. That's what's happening right now. The NASDAQ is gapping up. It was as high as 13,330, and now we're at 13,307. So we're in the first 15 were red, and it looks like it's going higher. I got to tell you, it looks like it's going higher. Here's the daily. This is the NASDAQ. You see how it's creeping? That's an up pattern. That is inescapable. That's where we're coming from, very, very high. But you see how it's starting to build momentum off the bottom? This is the daily. Day after day. It found support at 10,003. We're up to 13,001. My view is that by the end of the year, we're heading to 16. We may break, the NASDAQ may break the top by the end of the year. It just looks that way. And how's Rivian doing? I just bought 10 shares of Rivian. I got fucked. No. Rivian, how's Rivian doing? Rivian is down this morning a little bit. Let's look at the 15-minute on Rivian. This is a time for me to look at my stocks. Oh, boy, what do we got here? I forgot what we're doing. Oh, yeah, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. A little slow today for a Monday. My brain is a little slow. You motherfucker, why the sudden going down of Rivian? Go up. I think we're going to turn around I think Rivian turns around, goes back to 1450, and eventually it's going to go up. But right now we're at a low, 1363. So keep an eye on Rivian. What else? Overall, as I said, NASDAQ looks like it's creeping back up. Apple is up 78 cents, Amazon up 63 cents, Google up 27 cents, all up. Meta, formerly Facebook, up $1.76. Microsoft down 18 cents. Tesla up $3.44. That's a good move for Tesla. Nvidia, another $2.68. What a grand slam based on Paul Pelosi's insider trading. Man, did that shit go up. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, the war stocks, the stocks that bring you more and more war, both down this morning. The holiest of holy stocks, vaccines, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, that give you the shot in the arm when you need it. Mixed. Pfizer up, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna down a little. So anyway, man. So thank you all for joining me. Fascinating times we live in. I'm going to kill it here. I don't have much more to say on this Monday. That it is in the markets. We're going to get some critical data. Will the Fed Reserve, Jerome Powell, come out and jack up the interest rate another 25 basis points, or will they pause for the first time in a long time and leave it alone? And maybe even consider bringing it a little down, quantitative easing. Right now, they're quantitative tightening. So that's the announcement we'll get. I think we're going to get it Wednesday. That should, if there's a pause, the markets will rally up. If there is a increase, it'll probably tank the market a little bit. So that's where we are right now. So thank you all for joining me and Marcus Conte reporting. Have a great Monday, everybody. It's nice weather out. Give it to me. Give it to me. There we go. Give it to me. Yeah, it's nice weather. It's nice weather. It's cloudy, rain coming. Rain is nice in my view. I love rain. I love when it rains. I love when it rains. Peace, everybody.